are real.
Yeah, they're very...
That one's got Solexes.
Solexes.
Luke might open the bonnet for it.
Yeah, because I thought... I'm just trying to think where I've seen that particular engine before. It's like on its 45-degree angle, isn't it? And it's a clever little V4, so it's like one cylinder head doing both, essentially.
One block doing both, doing the V. He'll show you that the originality, almost originality.
It's not that standard anymore.
So let's have a little look. I noticed the air filter is a lot different to the injected. Is the air filter in them tubes? Has it not got one? I could never think about running an engine without one. Don't know why. Yeah, so this is the one in white, and here's the engine again, but this time it's Solexes on this one, or what I gather.
Carburetor engine.
Yeah, because the one next to you is a...
so Justin's is an injection.
Is it electronic injection or mechanical?
All mechanical.
All mechanical. Because I know that mechanical fuel injection existed until they could put an electronic brain on it.
Well, that's all kind of period stuff, although not a standard car.
No. So, and I think these were quite successful in rally, weren't they? So
the HF version was a world champion rally car. When was it? 60,
71, 72.
71 and 72.
yeah.
Before the Stratos, which is a more famous rally car.
Yeah, I think I saw a Stratos yesterday over at Hellingly, with all the Italia livery on it, but not it. I think it might have been in a different colour though. I don't remember. I'll have to look back through the videos and that, but yeah. But here's the clever little V4 design that's been mentioned. So I think there was a article on one of my favourite car programmes where I think Jeremy Clarkson and Richard Hammond were discussing Lancias and why it was the greatest car company in the world. And I think when it comes to innovation, they were. Except they acknowledged that annoyingly the Beta is what they're best known for.
Everyone talks about the rust. But,
yeah, but when that's saying...
This car is the same age as me. So,
yeah. Well,
yeah, okay, it is rusty, but all of them are rusty. Everything is rusty.
I had two late 1980s Fiat Pandas. They rusted faster than they went. So it's not just... I think it's just a general... They just think cars just rusted away to nothing just for the sake of it.
It doesn't matter where they were made. Swedish cars, German cars.
I never thought they did, but they probably do.
Terrible rusty cars. You know, and only thing that everybody remembers about the Lancia is the rust issue. I think most of it is because the Lancia admitted it.
Yeah,
that's their problem.
That was,
I mean, you know, so they actually
sort of
said, "Oh yes, our cars are rusty," and that was it. That's what
sort of ruined it for them. Because wouldn't it be great if I could go out and buy a new Lancia?
Well, you can't. They don't exist anymore. There is a badged version of a Chrysler thing.
Yeah, I look at that and I think, nah, not in spirit. It's like with Alfa Romeos. A lot of them are like got Fiat underpinnings, the multi-air engine for a start.
Both of these cars are before Fiat were involved in Lancia, and they were the most over-engineered cars that you could buy. I mean, it's similar to Rolls-Royce and
because
this was the same price as a Mark II Jag in period.
Yikes! Because I also remember Lancia was the first company in the world to have a road-going V6.
Yeah.
Something called the Aurelia.
V20. Yeah.
And then there was...
They also hold the patent for the first V8.
Okay.
Road car. Yeah. So there were a few.
The 6.
I thought the Lambda was a V8.
No. V4.
They did make it.
The Lambda was a V4.
Which one was the
Narrow V4.
which one was the first of the V8s then?
Well, Lancer never made a V8 except in the track car. That was the D50.
The D50, yeah.
That was
Okay, maybe that's the one I'm thinking.
single seat racing.
Well,
And
that's
the Aurelia was the first road going V6.
V6, yeah, maybe it's a V6 I'm thinking of.
Yeah. And they also built the first car with a monocoque, which is
This is all disc brakes
It's
too.
brilliant.
disc brakes all round.
First production car, disc brakes all round.
I actually thought Jaguar got to that, but no. Because I know Jaguar won Le Mans using disc brakes all round, and I think their cars had to have a sign on it saying, "Warning, disc brakes, please stay back."
In their race cars, so these are the same brakes. And in this car, he's got later brakes. So these are the Dunlops that were in those cars
Also,
for racing.
also notice they're both 1967s because I can tell by the number plates, and that if that's the correct year number plate on there, that means these were made between January and July, late July 1967, because they changed the way they did number plates because the dealers were saying, "Oh, can we have the number plate change in the summer so it can just flog more cars in August?"
This car actually came from Jersey, which is a little fiddle that they used to do. So they'd import it to Jersey and then drive them over, and you wouldn't have to pay the import tax.
Ah, right, that's
huge,
one.
Huge for those cars.
It's probably what made them expensive.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, nice to have met you two, and great to look at the engines.
Take care.
Yeah, will do. Right, going to something a lot less, well, not less interesting. It's interesting in a different way. But here's a Morris Minor van, which is done up as post van. Here's a little blast from the past, 1970s. But I'd say the 70s, well, I wouldn't say the 70s was the more innocent time. We just didn't know as much about it. Right, here we are. We see a Riley, one of the Farina Rileys. So I don't know which one. So is that? I'm not sure what it is. So let's go take a look around the back of it. Just careful. Be careful of these things. It might. So that's a 4-stroke 72. All right, never thought about that. But it's one of the Farina ones. You sort of see how it's styled out. Oh, I've missed the. Right, so I'm going to get back to what I'm doing because carefully. So here's a Fiat 500, 1972 one. Right, I'm going to head back over here now. So now we see that's an SS Jaguar. Let's get a view of it from this side, shall we? Right, so if we now see a Vanden Pla version of an Austin Allegro, so it's a Vanden Pla Austin Allegro, whatever. Ford Cortina Estate, it's like a Mark II, I think. Here's a Jaguar Mark. Hang on a minute. Is that a? Yeah, it looks like. Oh, it says it's an S-type. So I thought it looks like a Jaguar Mark II, but it turns out to be an S-type. So that's a previous iteration of it. Going past this Mercedes-Benz saloon. We swing around here, we see a Land Rover, probably a Series 2. This is a GT86. Okay. that could be a future classic actually. Just going to move along a bit, because here we come to a couple of minis. So here's a well, I would say it was an ordinary 1964 Mini, apart from this. Makes it extraordinary actually. I like that. Here's a Mini Traveller. I notice also twin SU carburetors. Right. Let's have a look. That's a Morris version of the Mini. Here's a oh God, what is it? There's a Hillman Super Minx here. Looks really nice car. 1725cc engine, which you would have found in the Sunbeam Alpine. Here's a Ford Zodiac. Here's a Ford Anglia Super. It looks as though it's had a few things done to it. They've certainly made it super by the looks of things. Actually, I quite like these. I don't know why, I just maybe. Here's a Mark II Jag, 1967. So between again January to late July 1967. Well, I'm just going to move along a bit, because now I'm going to have a look at some more seriously interesting cars. There's a BMW Z, I think that's a Z4, no, Z3, probably a Z3. Round to a Mercedes saloon, W124 platform, I think. Here's a Ford Cortina Cabriolet. What is that one? And it's from 1966. Here we see a Volkswagen Polo. That will become a classic shape, I suppose. Right, we need to do a bit of learning on this one, because I think that's wait a minute, someone's helpfully put a sign in the window saying it's a Jaguar Mark 1. So it looks like a Mark 2, but I think there's subtle differences on here. If you see around the rear door and that, subtle little differences. I think I've seen a Mark 1 before. Next to this is something I don't know anything about. It says it's on the 289 register, so just trying to think what it is. I really must. I would get out my handy guidebook, but that just means it'll mess up my video, I think. Here's a Hillman Minx. So this is a Hillman Minx.
Yeah, Mum had one. Granddad had one.
Maybe I should go out and get one. And here is the Peugeot van. Didn't I see this one yesterday somewhere?
You may have done that, yeah.
Commercial section, Hellingly.
Yeah.
Wouldn't-
E9, I think the number was.
Yeah, know what I'm wondering? Whether they're convertible into well, they call them recreational vehicles, but some people just call them a van, like for camping in.
Yeah, easy peasy one of these. Because it's got a nice high roof on it. You stand up in it easy.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. But yeah, it's good to see you again.
They did make, I've been found out they did make 4 right-hand drive ones of these.
Oh, right.
But I expect they've all right away over here.
Yeah, the weather's not
So
great.
This has been over here since 2019.
Yeah.
I know that because I've got all my well, I haven't now, but I did have the notice certificate and everything for it.
Yeah. Yeah, there is a bit of rust around the grille.
Yeah, I've got all that in there. I've got a pair of new vehicles.
Yeah.
Not new, but good ones.
Yeah, I was just agreeing with the fact that the weather does cause cars to rust. Why do you think 1980s, late 1980s Fiats, and I had 2 of them in my time. Rusted fast and they went. The sea salt doesn't help.
Well, when I was doing MOTs, we used to have 3 colours coming. Fords and things like that. And they were not on the seals.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's looking at that time on that clock.
Yeah, it's about 10 to 11. It's almost beer o'clock.
It is right. It is right. It's just that it goes backwards. It just confuse people.
Well, good to see you again. Anyways, I'm just gonna move around past his van. I'm gonna have a look at the American stuff a bit later on. I'm trying to deal with this middle bit first, get that done, because the way it's arranged, it's around the cricket pitch. So this Granada gear, we try and get a view of this. Yeah, so this is a Ford Granada gear. Managed to get a view of it now. Here's a Triumph TR6. Bonnet up, and there's the looks like, is that the petrol injection? Looks like the fuel the PI. So that's fuel injected. This is a Mercedes A class from looks like 1998-99. That's a Mark 1. We move along a bit now. We see an Aston Martin. That one's a Mark II saloon from 1934.
I honestly don't remember that.
Yeah, here's another Mini, and also next to that is a Ford Capri. Ford Capri LS.
There must be one with a very similar number plate, but I'm going to check that out.
Here's a Volkswagen Type 2, like another Hillman Superminx. Just think, reasonably priced cars in the 60s had a lot of style. Right, we're gonna have a little look to the left here. There's an Austin A40 Sport. Here's an E-Type Jaguar. That's so there's an E-Type Jaguar. It's not got the birdcage grille, so it's either a Series 1 or 2. So
It was heavy. Favours as well.
so this is a.
Certainly was.
So if I just,
Shoes in it.
yeah, so this is an Aston Martin. Which one is it? I can't remember. It's probably a DB5 actually. I'm going to take a bit of a look around here, try and get a better view of this. And if we look in here, you see the massive straight 6. Look at that. Little Mazda MX-5, just to, well, they're becoming classics in their own right now. Here's a Jaguar Mark 10. Never seen a Mark 10 in my life, and now I have. And speaking of things I've never seen in my life, what the heck is this? What is this? I'm gonna have to have a look. It looks like a pickup, might be a ute. This is a Volkswagen, so it's probably not a caddy, is it? I don't know. Here's something called an NG, one along the alphabet. I think these are ones that you could put together yourself. They're based around the MGT type, sort of, and then you just put any whatever underpinnings you got, and just make a fun kit car, really. Here's another interesting. This one's called Amelie. Looks like one of these pre-war racers. We see another Ford Capri here. There are quite a few survivors of Ford Capris actually. Quite cool little cars. And there's this, it's probably the V6 actually, the clone V6. Here's another MGB. Most of these would have been a 1.8 4-cylinder. You get V8 ones, but if you see a slight bulge in the bonnet where the carburetor should be, that's an MGC, which is the 6-cylinder one. Not that successful. If we look, see a BMW 3 Series Cabriolet next to an Austin Maxi. Looks like, I think I remember those. The Austin Maxi. Here's a Austin A30 van. And if we make our way around here, we see a Fiat 600. So Fiat 600. Right, I'm going to go over here now, right in everyone's way, because why not? If we look, we see a Fiat 500, 1969. That one was made from 1955 to about 1970 something. It's almost like they just perfect straight out of the box. Here's a Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Had a highly advanced engine, 16 valves. Yeah, there it is. Triumph Dolomite Sprint. Here's your Jaguar F-Type. Here we have a Triumph Vitesse. So that'll be a 2-litre 6-cylinder, as you can tell by the double lights. There we are. Triumph have always been quite well known for making small 6-cylinders. Here's a Triumph Stag. Didn't I see this one yesterday? I might have done. There were quite a few cars yesterday, Hellingly, and I think some come over here. Here's the Ford Escort Mark III. I think I saw this one yesterday. This is an Austin A40. Looks, it says Farina style. It's a Farina Club. So this is Farina style. Here's another example of the A series engine, very long-lived engine. Obviously, must have been a brilliant design to be long-lasting. Here's a Wolseley 1500. Looks a bit quite similar to the Riley 1.5. A little bit at badge engineering back in the 60s because people had brand loyalty. They're still brilliant cars. Here's a, I think that's an MG TF. I think it might be a TF because it's slightly later than the MGFs. I'm not sure. Now here's something called a Panther. Now I did learn something about it, but I totally forgotten it all. So it's something called a Panther. Another Ford Capri. Yeah, so here's another Ford Capri over here. Here's a, what I think it is. That's an MGC because it looks like an MGB, but this is the, yeah, because there's the bulge there. So that's an MGC because the bonnet's slightly bigger just to try and fit the engine in. And there's a little bulge on the passenger side where the carburetors are. This is another Rover P6 3500S. So another V8 one. There seems to be more of the V8 one surviving than anything else. They must have made a brilliant engine, I think. Actually, it turns out, this Huntsman specification, it says it's got 5-speed box in it. It's even better. Should have come with a 5-speed box all the time, but if you've got a V8, you might as well have a load of gears in it, like a 5-speed, because then you can cruise it as well. So it is. And if we look to my right now, we see a Morgan Plus 4. Pretty cool cars actually, these. And it's almost like they got the design right in the first place and didn't want to change it. And they made little changes just to make it better, but kind of perfect straight out of the box. Another Ford Capri over here. I think this must be the V6. They've always been really cool cars. Here's a Triumph TR6 as well. Right, here's a Jaguar, E-Type Jaguar, or otherwise known as an XKE. What one's this one? This looks like the V12, so it's a Series 3. Look at that. Look how complicated that looks. I wouldn't want to try and work on it. They have a dragster here today, and I've got to go and look at it. This MGB Volkswagen Polo Coupe. Another T-Type MG. Later on I'm going to try and go down to that dragster, because here's a Lambretta, and also a Lambretta with a trailer, three-wheeler. Here's a Honda Super Sport. Oh, it's a Honda VFR 400R Force V4 Rothmans Racing, so they used to sponsor it. Here's a Suzuki 185. Over there is a Douglas Dragonfly. What's this one? This looks like a Honda, one of them racing bikes. Here's a Triumph. There's a line of 3 Triumphs here. I'm going to go have a look at this one in case anybody asks me whether I have looked at it. But this is actually a Suzuki BT750 liquid cooled. I think I've seen one of those before. I'm just going to move my way back. I think someone started up a dragster, and you could probably hear it in Eastbourne. Here's a Riley 1.5. Yeah, so here's some minis. So we're just going to look at these minis. Shout out to the Bexhill Mini Club. Right, they've run out of fuel now. Here's a pickup. I'll be down there later. This is... Oh, so this one's a Mini Cooper. I should have thought about that. Yeah, but here's a whole line of minis, and here's some not quite so traditional minis, but this is John Cooper works, so pretty quick. And there's another John Cooper works here. Oh, what's this? It's an Alfa. Oh, what's this one? It's an Alfa Romeo. Is it a Giulietta Spider? And now I'm working my way along a line of Morgan. So this is a +8. So it's the V8 one. Here's, that looks like a plus, probably a 4, +4, doesn't say much. Another +4 here. Keep moving along now. We see a MGB, I think. This is another Morgan +4. This time this is a Rover engine, so that's one with the K series. Oh, what's this one? This is a Lotus. So here's a Lotus. I'm just going to have a look, see which one this is, because if I'm honest with you, I really do want to know. What is this one? Is this?